Okay, this is the last part. After we make this, we're gonna start assembling in the next video, but this video itself might take a while, so itself it would be in 3 parts. But let's move on, go to the right plane sketch, and for the first time ever, we're not starting up with a circle. We're actually starting up with a line. It should be about 70. There you go. From that, we will make another line that will be 24. Let me just eyeball it. 24. Let's do 25 up to here. And then we will have another one that will be about this much. Not sure exactly, but we will dimension it accordingly and then connect this here. Now go to dimensions and properly dimension these. So obviously this is 70 and this will be, no, not in this direction. Needs to be the measurement of, select this and delete and dimension it again. It needs to be this. It needs to be in the same direction as the surface you're doing, otherwise it's the dimension of the shadow, not the actual value. 71. And then that's wrong as well. You just control Z that last command, and it needs to be this dimension is wrong. This is, again, it's not in line with this. It's the shadow of this, if we were to implement a shadow of this on a surface, so it's wrong. Let me correct this by first selecting, deleting, and make a correct dimension, which is, it should be this is the correct one. It should be parallel to the surface you're making. So this is 71, and now the last part will be 10 millimeters. There you go. You might have your part dancing around like that, but still it's this is the shape we need. All the parts are defined, so we move on. Okay, so we move on to draw a line from this end, and it needs to be, well, it needs to be in line with this. It needs to be in line with the first line, not that. Then we drop down a vertical position like this. Take the line, and from first, obviously this one is this. We need to have this one slightly moving away from this yellow line, if you can see the yellow line. Then we will have a part that moves up about this much. Then there's a vertical drop in this direction, in sort of this direction or this direction. Not don't really have to be specific, that specific, but we still need this. So let me just go to smart dimension and select the center of this and select the tip of this line that we made and make it 15 millimeters. And next up is, nope, that's completely wrong. That's not how it should be. Delete this. It should be perfectly aligned with this. should be 10, and this surface should be 13, and then this surface, the last one should be 30 millimeters. There you go. That's something what it should look like. Draw a line from the 30 line up to here. Make sure to align it, align it from this line, this one that's being highlighted. Make sure to align it in a way that it's in in line. If I extend this, you can see that it's sort of parallel. Sort of doesn't need to be 100%, but let me just go back to the line and press escape. It turned into the curve feature, and from here draw a perpendicular that is about perpendicular, and then we will draw a straight vertical which will also be perpendicular to this, and it will be 50 millimeters long, and we can just eyeball it and then give it dimensions afterwards. Just say this to be, again, wrong. It's constantly picking up with this sort of drawing. It's constantly picking up the wrong sides. Nope, not what I wanted to click. Not the center of that. Right, should be 10. This should be 11, and this should be 50. Right, change this to 7. You're gonna have to follow me in this sort of same scenario, because obviously the angles of these lines are not provided. You're gonna have to circumnavigate and make sure that, so for example, we started with this surface and then we moved around here. This last point should be about yay far and approaching this side or this face. Now you can in this sketch you can sort of move this entire assembly that we made, so have this in this kind of shape. Let me just, about this, I've moved it slightly to the left of this. This is what I'm trying to position, corner of this, the original sketch we made, the first sketch we made, and this. And from here we will drop a line first here. There will be a line that we will make, and there will be another line in this direction, sort of, and it will be then parallel to this. We will click both these lines and say this needs to be parallel. In this left window there's a parallel, so it said now they're parallel. Then we go to smart dimension and give, not this one, man, it keeps picking up the wrong one. Escape. Let me go to this. Needs to be 10 millimeters. Same for this one. Needs to be 10 millimeters. And the distance between these two needs to be 12 millimeters. Okay, that's about right. We can still move these around if we want to, if it doesn't go into the shape that we want it to. Okay, I think it's better to draw a center line from this point to this point, just completely perpendicular to this, and then just extend this to this center. It needs to extend because obviously these two are parallel. It just needs to extend to this center line. It needs to be straight, it needs to be parallel, and then draw a circle, no, 3-point arc from here to here. Instead, just do this. Draw a circle, so it will be a perfect circle because this is at the center, and draw it up to this point. Take the trimming tool and remove this. You might as well remove this as well, and remove this corner. No, that's not what we wanted to do. Just Control C this, and we need the circle to connect from this point to this point. Might as well trim this and trim the circle and draw this again in a way that makes this easier. From this center, draw from this. Why is it picking up 2 points? Oh, the line is disconnected. That's why, man. Let me just do this. Delete this. Delete this. Trim this. Draw a center line from this point. Needs to be completely perpendicular. Not sure why it was disconnected. It shouldn't have been disconnected. Draw this to meet this point. Needs to be completely straight. Needs to meet this line. There you go. And then no wonder it wasn't meeting at the center. Problem is it needs to be trimmed. This part needs to be. Now the center of this line is changed. So we will draw a circle and it will completely touch both sides. Now, perfect. Go to this, remove trim entities. Now this is the sort of a dome shape that we needed. And this is the shape that we will now extrude. Go to features, extrude, and extrude this shape, this and this. Make sure to select this part as well. See, this part wasn't selected. Now the entirety of this drawing is selected. We need to extrude this by 25 millimeters. Okay, what we need, this is what it should look like, your drawing. This is what it should look like. We come to this face, go to sketch. In the sketch, draw a center line from this point. It should be perfectly perpendicular to this point. Not showing up as perpendicular, so we're just gonna eyeball this to make sure that it's perpendicular. There you go. And we will start drawing a, just take a normal line and start drawing from this point to about this high, about this wide, and just draw this type of, this shape of right angle triangle, and use the smart dimension. Man, it changes position in the last second, and as I'm about to click. 25. This is 25. This is, there you go again. Change position last second. This needs to be 15. I think 15 is bigger than what we need. I think it's supposed to be 10. Let me just change this to, it might just be 15, but let me just check. And this side, from this side, needs to be 2.7 millimeters. So this distance is 2.7 millimeters. And now that this is made, go to features and extruded cut and just make a through hole with this. Yes, it's fully approaching the other side. Let's just make a through hole with this shape. It doesn't need to be any specific or any more like equal to when we're just making it sort of a rough sketch so you can follow me. You don't need to do exactly, it doesn't need to be exactly the same. On this surface is sketch, and we will draw a midpoint line from this point. We need a reference on this surface, so let me just draw a normal line from this point, and for some reason it got deselected, and this point we will draw a no, there you go. And from this line we will make a midpoint line that we will draw in this direction, and we will dimension it accordingly first. So it needs to be 4 millimeters exactly, and it just moved the line in order to shape it rather than keep this horizontal. Let me just move this, delete these relationships. Okay, delete this relationship. Might as well just trim this. We don't specifically need the line to guide us. We just needed somewhat of it to be in front of this. Let me, if I can, delete this and then move this. Nope, it's still not letting me. These relations are usually really annoying, but I think we can do with this. I think it's not that bad. It's still in the region, in the space. Or what we can do is move to this, and instead of drawing a midpoint line that we did before, we might as well just draw 2 lines on either side, and just have those equally sized so that it doesn't cause any problems. We do need another one of this to be perfectly in line with the original line that we made. Not sure why it's not showing me the path of the original line. Now, go to dimensions and dimension, and as soon as it got the chance, it bent in the wrong direction and gave me the wrong dimensions. No worries. 2 millimeters. Same with this. 2 millimeters. And this needs to be 4 millimeters. Enter, and now we connect this to this, and this to this. There you go. Just needed this. Go to trim, remove this, and remove this as well. We just need this triangle. Go to features, extrude, and we will extrude this. Change the direction to up to surface. In this drop down menu, up to surface, click this surface and say okay, this is what we need. There you go, this is what it should look like.